whiz. Jake Browning, my friend.
Look out. Jake Browning's on the rise.
It's my quarterback.
Listen to these stats for Jake Browning. 32 of 37, but 2 passes were right to the receivers and they dropped them. So he would have been 34 of 37. 354 yards. He threw for more yards than Justin Fields has ever thrown in his career.
Look, man. Next man up. Gotta have that mentality. Oh, man.
Jake Browning.
Where the hell did he come from?
Trevor Lawrence went out with an ankle injury, too.
If there's any haters in here right now that don't have nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me. Sit back there and say my hair ain't luxurious when you know it is, bitch.
Kaminsky's hair is luxurious. There's no doubt about that.
Do we have a PFF grade on Bruce Purnell Irvin Jr.?
He'll be in the honorable or dishonorable mentions too. We got to put the bad guys in there. I didn't make graphics for the honorable and dishonorable mentions, but there should be some in there because I'm just doing basic overall when it comes to this PFF grades right here. Let me get this invite right in here. If you're watching this video right now, we're about ready to get this thing started. Football Talk with Russell Wayne. Please share and like this content. If you're on the video right now, we're about ready to talk some football, do some PFF. Welcome. Welcome. All right. Share. Going to share to my story. All right. All right, there you go. Here's a message from Christopher Walken. We're getting this thing rolling.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
What's up, y'all? This is Ifeatu Melifonwu, safety for the Detroit Lions. And I just want to take some time out to give a big shout out to Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike from the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. It's a fan page and a podcast. And I just want to say I appreciate the support of me and my team. And I encourage everyone to go check out their podcast and check out their fan page. Go Lions.
Yeah, here we go. Let's have this. Let's do this. Football Talk. Good morning, everybody. Put what team you represent in the comment. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning, Fred. Good morning, Jason. MC. Goal in the house. Oh, yeah. Welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen. This is Football Talk with your host, Russell Wayne. That is me. That is me. And we are broadcasting live right now in Mike the Bear fans. Good morning, Chicago Bear fans. We are broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. Just hit 10,000 villains in there. Thank you for following the page. Thank you for liking this content, making us one of your listens every day as it pertains to football content. I am your host, Russell Wayne, joined as always by my compadre, Main Event Mike. How are you doing?
Say hello to my little friend.
PFF Tuesday, my friend.
PFF Tuesday. Gosh, I didn't put the thing in the back. Let me get my background one in here. real quick. I want to put the correct background in here because I had the one in there from last night. Sorry about no. Sorry about that. I apologize for that. But it is PFF Tuesday. I'm gonna leave it there for right now because I'm struggling. I am struggling right now with all of my producing and whatnots. But PFF Tuesdays, this is the dorky show. This is for all of you dorks that are out there that love football so much that they need a little bit more. Like me, I need to see a grade. I need to see a grade on an offensive lineman. How the hell can you figure these things out? But just as a little recap from last week, the Detroit Lions did beat the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans 33-28, and the Kansas City Chiefs got beaten by NFC North's Green Bay Packers. Look at that. 27-19, taking them out at full strength. Jordan Love looking real good but how good did he do? So let's look at some of these top performers for from PFF as far as the offensive performances right here. And you got quite a few of them on there. They played very well. Jordan Love, the top rated Green Bay Packer, at a 91.8 right there. And this guy has been outstanding for the last couple of weeks, Mike. Jordan Love, you got Christian Watson on this list, the Dontavian Wicks, Josh Myers, A.J. Dillon, Rasheed Walker, Tucker Kraft, all of these offensive players, young players, all playing out of their minds, Mike. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Jordan Love is the real story. I mean, it's a love story. I mean, let's face it. 2 weeks in a row, the kid's playing out of his mind. The game is obviously slowed down for him. We've talked to it ad nauseum this week already, but because they played, on Thanksgiving, and now they play again on Sunday. So it feels like we just continue. It feels like a Packers show without the douchey fans.
Yeah, but we want to get into the reels of this, and I know it's like PFF is such a funny thing. A lot of people call it the fake football facts, and I understand all of that, but usually you don't like it when the stats don't point towards your favorite guys. I think that's what it really comes down to. But offensively, wow, Green Bay put together a pretty good performance. When you look at this list of guys right there, let me get that list back up there for you guys so you guys can see that. Get the video clips out of here. Yeah. Jordan Love, Christian Watson. Look at the receivers coming through too. It isn't just Jordan Love doing well. I mean, his receivers, they used to use the young receivers as an excuse, but these guys are balling out. Week after week, I see their playmakers on the top of this list. It's Jordan Love that's been showing up on this list over the last couple of weeks, but you saw a pattern as the season has been rolling on, as these young wide receivers and these young playmakers were stepping up and playing very good, according to PFF. Now, I know you don't like PFF and they're all fake stats, but they probably like these stats that I'm bringing out because these are pretty good right here. You got lots of good young players. Tucker Kraft finding his way. This was the second tight end that you drafted. Wait till you get your main tight end back, Luke Musgrave, who has been playing well as well. So what do you think about that, Packer fan? Packer fan, you got some pretty good offensive players, and this was against a good team. This is a quality win for the Green Bay Packers. Shuts up a lot of the haters. Good morning to Bear Down Mike. Jason MC says, let's talk some football. You know what I love? You got Jason MC, who is obviously a Minnesota Vikings fan. You got Bear Down Mike, who is obviously a Bear fan. But yet we have such a good culture of football fans in here with this NFC North that you got guys coming in on their bye weeks in supporting the show, and we really do appreciate that. That is like one of the best compliments that you can do that isn't actually, out loud complimenting. That is flattering. I like that.
You like that?
Thank you. But here we are. We're gushing on these Packers because they deserve that, right? They took out the champs. Well, let's look at the defensive performance. Not as many good defensive performers for the Green Bay Packers. You had a couple guys that stood out. And this didn't surprise me when I was looking at it, because I know everybody's gushing all over Jordan Love, but that run defense is going to be a problem for you guys going forward. And that's why you didn't see a lot of these guys. Now, here's what I do is I highlight the people that are above 70. 65 is where you're doing the above average to, good play. Well, 70 is where the really good play starts. And I feel like you should just, mention these guys up there. I'll put a couple honorable mentions in here. The Kayceon Nixon is the one that stands out to me on this list. This is Green Bay Packers do it all dude that can, he's playing shutdown corner. He's returning kicks. He's playing on special teams. This guy is what a value player Kayceon Nixon is.
Kayceon Nixon. What a great interception of Patrick Mahomes. He ran that route better than the receiver. That was just an outstanding play. And that was a tide turner, in my opinion, of the game. That really, because if Kansas City goes down and scores on that drive, the whole game is different. What an awesome play that was.
What ball school?
Glad to see his PFF grade up near 80. That just outstanding. And you can't say enough about the Packers defense. They held Patrick Mahomes to 189 yards passing. That's outstanding. They are playing out of their minds right now. They are committed and they are coming hard for a playoff spot. With a real soft schedule on the way, they have a great shot.
Now, I'm going to put some honorable mentions in here because these guys were close. Romeo Dobbs at a 66.1, Zach Tom at a 65, and Elgin Jenkins at 62, Jaden Reed at 61. And some of these guys were doing well in other areas too. So as I'm looking through here, so it's not like those guys were playing awful, but these guys were the ones that I wanted to put in for honorable mentions right there. And I'm sorry for mispronouncing the name. I don't know. I don't get all of the other teams right. Thank you for correcting me on Kayceon Nixon. I putting too many vowels in there, right? Is that what I was doing?
I don't know. I didn't even notice.
Yeah. So that's the one game right there. So now we're going to jump over here right now. Let me see what we got in the comments here before I move over to the Detroit side of that. Anything that you want to add to that game?
About Green Bay? Yeah. Look, you look at the schedule and it's really soft. We've been over it over and over. But they beat the Chiefs and they beat the Lions the 2 weeks before. They needed those games, right? If they had lost on Thanksgiving and lost to Kansas City, their season's over. Doesn't matter if they win the last 5 going on the stretch because their season would be over. But they got it done. Now the Cream Puffs, they got to be careful that they don't step in a pothole. Good morning, Sarah, making Christmas ornaments. All right. Are they purple?
Like that.
Are they purple?
You would assume. Yeah. Sarah, I love how much Viking fan we have representing in here. That the Viking fans went from witness protection to really, really supporting their team. Even in the losses, they were coming out before all the winning started happening too. They were here all the time. So I appreciate Viking fan for that. I thought Green Bay would have a good defense. It's not looking that way now. That's a pretty good offense they were going up against right there that they held to 19 points. So I mean, yeah, you can argue the play at the end, or the ref. I mean, they should have called that, but it's like you can't put the whole game on that. Even if they did call that would have given them a really good chance to score and then possibly tie the game with a 2-point conversion. So there's a lot of moving parts in there to say that they got screwed. I mean, that particular call, yeah, you got screwed on that call. But I don't know if that cost you the game. But anyway, right there. Well, I appreciate that. So let's go and move on to the Detroit Lions, where there's a lot of really good ones to talk. I had to make an extra slot for some of these right here. Like it was the Green Bay on offense that was unbelievable, and the Lions were really, really good on offense in this game. Sam Laporta, I mean, what can you say about this guy? This guy is on pace.
He had the best game of his career. He's on pace to break Mike Ditka's rookie tight end record. 140 yards.
Hold on a minute. You jumped me. Boom. Chasing Yep, this is history. Chasing Ditka. That just doesn't sound good, does it?
No, it's the sequel to Chasing Amy, if you're a Kevin Smith fan. Chasing Ditka.
Chasing Ditka. You can't say that 5 times faster. You probably wouldn't want to. 1,090 or 1,079 yards. So that's a little less than 80 yards per game. And I mean, that's a tall order. That's not easy for a tight end to do, but it's not impossible because you don't have to get them all.
If he has another 140-yard game like he did Sunday, that's going to really help his chances of reaching that, though.
But wow, what a player that they got in a second round. But a lot of this has to do with the way that defenses have to play them now because of one Jamison Williams too. So let's get into these scores right here. And you notice that they're not on there. You got Penei Sewell coming in at an 80.4, Jared Goff at a 77.7. Another good game for Jared Goff. He had a couple bad games. What a good bounce back game for our quarterback, Jared Goff.
Lions 0 turnovers in the game. As we talked about before the game, that would be a key to winning.
I mean, I think that's why they would, like, if they limit turnovers, they can beat any team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because that's protecting the football is so damn important. And the one that I wanted to highlight here, and I should have put him in the picture, but how about Graham Glasgow? I mean, the guy starts the game at right guard. Frank the Tank goes down. He moves to center, completes the game, and played well at center too. So he just, whatever you needed me to do, coach.
We're going to bite a kneecap off.
Whatever you need, coach. It looks like the Frank the Tank injury isn't going to be huge serious, but we may miss him for this upcoming game against Chicago.
I want to highlight Penei Sewell here with an 80.4. You know, he's going against borderline Hall of Famer Cameron Jordan. They did not call Cameron Jordan's name one time during the game on Sunday, and that's because our all-pro right tackle Penei Sewell. I love you called him as an all-pro before the season started. He is living up. He is living up to that prediction so far. If he continues to play the way he has, if he doesn't get all-pro, it'll be a travesty.
And that's what I love about the team so much is you're watching the progression of all of these young guys that are, going into their second year, third year, and, as they go forward, it's just going, they're just going to get better. And it's the way that they're feeling in Green Bay right now with all of that young talent on there. God, they're sitting at 6-6. I would feel great about that as a Green Bay fan if that's what they're going. We kind of felt that last year. We felt these guys getting better as the season was going along. Let's check out the defense. And this is where, I thought my premonitions were right because everybody's been really, really hard on this defense. And there are a couple fluke plays. Really, I mean, the New Orleans Saints were very lucky to be as close in the game as they were. The Lions really did stomp a mud hole in them, but other than a couple of fluky plays. I mean, you're talking about a tip pass that would have been intercepted that, on a third down just keeps the drive going. You got Bruce Irvin sacking a guy that if he didn't drive him into the ground, I mean, people forget that was still a sack that was going to get them off of the field, which you gave them a brand new set of downs. Then you have another one where you did get pressure on the quarterback, and Carr drops back and throws off of his back foot into triple coverage, underthrows the throw grossly, and Chris Olave makes a play. It's like, you can't look at this defensive performance right here. Romeo Okwara, where's the pass rush? There it is, right there. Romeo Okwara was our best graded player next to Aiden Hutchinson. The pass rush was there this time, and I know something that you're looking at, Mike. Let me get this thing out and get it ready while you're talking about it. What are your thoughts on that defense, Mike?
Well,
now that
if
see
you
that?
look on number 5, Jack Campbell, his first game at middle linebacker wearing the green dots, setting the defense. He led the team in tackles with 9 total tackles. He had 2 tackles for loss. And to see that grade 74.4, that's really encouraging. I mean, there was a shot in that game from a cameraman where it was looking like from field level and looking up. And in one shot, you could see Brian Branch, Jack Campbell, there's somebody else, Aiden Hutchinson, all in one shot. And I was like, you're looking right there at the future of the Detroit Lions defense. These guys are young. They're having a good year this year, but man, are they going to be good moving forward. Jalen Reeves-Maybin here in this conversation as well. He had 6 tackles. He's a bench player. All right, we lost Alex Anzalone, the leader, the captain of the defense, and the other guys stepped up. Malcolm Rodriguez played great. He had 4 tackles. We do have there's no Brian Branch here. I know that you're kind of trimming down the list of the people that you put up there, but Brent wanted to know what Brian Branch's grade was. And I'm interested to know either. He had 7 tackles.
Brian Branch was at a 54.1. It looked like his best grade was in pass rush as a 67.9 in pass rush. No, he didn't have a great game as according to PFF, but that's not like, 54 is just, you're like below average, I guess. But isn't that weird how that works like that? You look in and, those are the grades you don't like, right? You're looking at that and go, wow, I don't know if I like that. Gosh, PFF doesn't know what they're talking about because I watched Brian Branch have a good game.
Well, Chris Olave had 112 yards. So, some of these cover guys are having a tough day.
But the thing is like, this is where it doesn't reflect. You know how I'm saying, like, everyone's like, oh, the defense is bad. And it's like, it was fluky how they got some of their stuff, tipping the ball on an almost guaranteed interception right into the hands of somebody. That's going to work against your PFF grade. Really, how can you blame the fluky stuff on the defense? That shit happens, right? And then here's the thing is that shit happened like 3 times in the game and you still won. Like, even with fluky stuff happening that was not going in your favor. It's like, but you look at this, you're looking at a bunch of guys, and these guys were the ones that were just on the top of the list. So let's get into those honorable mentions. And this is like, Kirby Joseph had a good game at a 66.8. Charles Harris at a 66.3. Malcolm Rodriguez with a 78.2 tackling grade. Let's go. Will Harris with a good game. Like,
what about Bruce Purnell Irvin Jr.?
Bruce Irvin, where are you at? Right there. 54.3 overall, but he had a 68.3 pass rushing grade.
And that's what we needed was some addition to the pass rush.
I don't need you to play, right? He's not going to be he's like a lot like James Houston. You don't really want him out there on rundowns. He's not going to be a beast on the run defense. Let me see if that reflects that.
Yeah, I'd like to Josh
Bruce Irvin
against the run as well.
Bruce Irvin against the run. Oh, they had 0 run plays. He had no grade. that tells you everything that you need to know right there.
Well, he only had 11 snaps, and they were all pass plays, which is what we brought him in for.
Right. He had one snap in coverage. Who did you want to know? You wanted
Josh
to know
Pascal against the run, because the guy's not getting the pass rush from the other side, but anything that's run to that side, he's eating it up, I noticed.
Run defense is 69.0. I mean, that's good. That's
real
good.
For run defense for Josh Pascal. 69.9.
69. He had a 72.4 tackling grade. So you kind of figure out, because I like using the overall right there, but he had a 72.4 overall grade. And that's what you're looking for. It's not going to be sexy. Not everyone's going to get the sexy pass rushing stuff, right? That you got Hutchinson drawing the double team, but Josh Pascal is stepping up and being a quality guy opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. And when he's not in there, you got Romeo Okwara. So they run that in a rotation, right? And that's really smart. You know, you're gonna keep these guys fresh in there. But I wanted to put an attaboy out there for the Lions defense, because it does take a lot of crap right there. And they're taking a lot of crap right now because of them coming back in that game. And it's like, it's okay to critique the team, okay? It's okay to not like things about the team, but you can't treat it like a loss, guys. You can't treat it like, oh my God, I can't believe they let them come back. They didn't lose the game. Like, when it mattered, the thing is you got a team that makes clutch plays when it matters, right? I would much rather have them stumbling on this and that in the game, but when it comes to the clutch moments, that they're okay. You know, they don't look like a deer in headlights, you know, because everybody's cheering, trying to get their team back in. And our team's cold as ice. Screw you, done.
Mm-hmm.
They're shut the game down. Done.
You are watching Football Talk with Russell Wayne, and it is PFF Tuesday. Put it in the comments. Tell us what you'd like to know. You don't have to go buy a subscription to PFF, folks. We make Russell pay for it, and then he'll give you the grades. Also, it's Christmas coming up. Less than 3 weeks away, Christmas is coming. If you've got an NFL fan on your shopping list and you want to get them some NFL gear, take a look at that link that's in the description. There's a little bar up here at the top of our graphic, NFL Shop. Football Talk with Russell Wayne is an official affiliate marketing partner of NFLshop.com. You can click the link and buy your gear. And if you use our link, you get an additional 25% off. That's nothing to scoff at. 25% off NFLshop.com. Ken Fisher says Jerry Jacobs' numbers across the board are what? In the comments, they are trashing Jerry Jacobs, saying he's the weak link on our team. He's sucking it. If Brian Branch hadn't tipped that ball, he would have had an INT yesterday, and the narrative might be a little different. What do we got for Jerry Jacobs, Russ?
54.7.
Ooh, that's not great, but it's not.
It's not great. No, it's below average. It's below average. You really want these guys being at really no less than 60. 60 means that you're doing your job. If you get to 60, you're a little bit below average when you're in the 50s, but it's not the end of the world. I don't think that, according to this, he wasn't like, he was below average. He was below average in the game, but he wasn't like the dead liability, right? You know, like, oh my God. Like, because when you look at some of those catches, man, like one of them, he was going to get an interception. He was going to close on that ball, and he was probably getting 6. It was probably going to be 6 the other way. And the other one, I mean, he's going out and Derek Carr underthrows the ball by 20 yards. Chris Olave stops and does this awesome move, cradle underneath catch right there. I'm not going to blame that catch on him either. It's like, that's fluky. That's fluky.
They had a few of those. They had like 3 of those where the quarterback just lofted a duck into a soft spot in the zone, and the receiver made a play.
So it's like, okay, if you want to trash my defense because of some fluke plays, but you take those 3 fluke plays out of there. Like, think about this. They were like, well, they had to take Bruce Irvin. Yeah, he took out Derek Carr. That's why you won. No, if Bruce Irvin had just tackled the guy, you know what would happen? It would have been 4th down and like 28. You would have punted the ball, and we would have ran the ball down your throat, and we would have won by double digits. That's what would have happened. Now, Bruce Irvin, that's another fluky thing, right? Like, Bruce Irvin, don't do that. I love the fact that you came in and got 2 sacks. One of them didn't count because you decided to Roman Reigns
Acknowledge me.
spear the guy into the ground when you had him dead to rights. Just, I mean, lay him down on a nice little fluffy, lawn of pillows and get the sack, but don't come in Roman Reigns style and do the finishing maneuver. It's Derek Carr.
Who is like, Roman Reigns? What position does he play?
He would definitely be a linebacker.
He's a wrestler. My bad.
He's the wrestler. Yeah, you gotta forgive Mike. He's a little bit slow. He thinks he's being cute by pretending that he doesn't know, but really he's just making himself look really, really dumb right now to the fact that he doesn't watch TV. He has a telephone, though. He does have a telephone.
yeah, but it's mounted to the wall, and I talk to it like.
What is that? What is that? That's like 8-track. What are you even saying right now? Oh, Giants versus Packers this week. All right, now let's be your lock
pick. That's going to be your lock pick this week. Giants.
well, if they give the Packers 16 points or something like that, yeah, it will be my lock pick if it's ridiculous. Oh gosh!
Jordan says Irvin went old school Goldberg on Carr.
Oh, Goldberg, that's right. There's one that you might know
because he played football. I know that one.
Yeah, he did play football once. He was an Atlanta Falcon.
Gosh, I'd be lying if I said I remember him.
You got the Lions versus the Bears in Soldier Field. The Bears were really tough the first time, man. It's like you see the teams play each other, and then you're like, oh, that looked like a different Bears team. I don't want to talk as much shit this time, Mike. What do you think?
I think Justin Fields coming off his best PFF grade this week. He didn't play. That's right. Yeah, I think they played us real tough at home. They're going to be out for blood. They want revenge. It's a divisional game. It's going to be really hard. I would not be surprised if the Bears win this game. We'll talk about it all on our Friday show when we make our predictions. You were 6-6 this week, by the way.
What, 6-6?
You were only 6-6, and so was I.
Gosh.
We were both 6-6, but you hit your lock pick and I did not. So that's on Fridays, folks. It's our prediction day. Russell Wayne is absolutely crushing it. 6-6 this week for him. That was his worst week of the year. Overall, he's prognosticating games at over a 73% clip for the year. It's amazing. So pay attention.
That sounds so bad when you say it like that.
73%?
Like, dude, I feel like I would be arrested if I got caught prognosticating. Like, if I was in a, I don't want to be associated with any of, I don't want to be associated with any of your prognosticating. All right. You got the Raiders playing the Vikings. Did I get that right? I hope I had the right week.
You did. You did.
I did a good job this week. I apologize for all my misspellings and all that stuff, but I don't care.
You got all three right.
I got all 3 of them right today. I was 3 for 3. That was excellent prognosticating by me. And I think this is a trap game right here for the Vikings. Like, if they're looking past the Raiders are a different team since they fired Flippy, whatever his name is. What's his name?
Josh McDaniel.
Josh McDaniels. I heard that on his way out, like all they were like, look, we need to get him into a room. So a whole bunch of players all went off on him and said, we don't like you. We don't like your face. Like, I just think that's funny because they specifically said face. They didn't like his face. Somebody said that he didn't like his face. And I just thought of, our favorite guy. Let me go bring him up right there. Yeah. The most punchable face in the history of the world. Matt Patricia's stupid face right there. The most punchable face. Give me the and you know what? Maybe I'm not right. It's not right for me to just say that Matt Patricia has the most punchable face. Who has the most punchable face? Let us know in the comments. You got to have somebody that just has the most.
Keep politics out of it.
It's probably me. But it's probably going to load up the comments with Russell Wayne.
Yeah, just keep politics out of it, please. No politicians.
Yeah. Oh God, did I open up Pandora's box?
You could have. I'm trying to nip it in the bud right now.
Just don't say this. Don't say his name.
Adam Hurley is going nuts in the comments, man. He's just self-deprecating himself. He says he blames the long snapper. It's over. I don't even know what team he represents, but he is just crushing it. Oh, Jay Jakeway says Matt Millen has the most punchable face.
That's pretty damn. That's fair. That's fair because you could toss that one up right there.
Yeah.
I mean, Bob Quinn, and Matt Patricia, just remembering all of those interviews, after the game was over, where he's just like trying to defend all the shitty calls that he made. Like, that's one thing I love about Dan Campbell. Like, hey man, what do you think about that going forward? I'm like, oh, look, man, I messed that up. I shouldn't have did that. Like, I love the transparency. Like, I know that he shouldn't have fake punted that, but I love that he came right out and said, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't.
I don't know. You're giving him too much credit. What else can he say? It's all right there on video. Everyone saw it. He went for it on fourth down 5 times.
No, what do you mean? What else?
Gave the game away.
Oh, stop that. That's Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia's out there. Well, we used advanced analytics and we found out that, and he tried to justify why he went for it on his own 20-yard line with a fake punt to a linebacker. Yeah, but we went back to 1975. We saw some game film where they did that once, and it worked. And so we did it. We thought for sure it was going to work.
We're getting some real contenders here in the comments for most punchable face. Brian says Aaron Rodgers. Adam says Draymond Green. Go Blue. And Sarah says Sean Payton has a punchable face. I agree with Sarah when I think about it. Look at, I mean, you don't have a graphic for Sean, but if you can picture Sean Payton's face, it's a very punchable face, Sarah. I like that.
No, that
and
poor
Fred
guy.
Peter said, especially if you're a Seminoles fan, says the NCAA voting committee has the most punchable face.
That one won. Might have won the comments right there. The NCAA. Shame on you, NCAA. I'm sorry to go off topic right here, but that's okay. We could talk about that a little bit because we have extra time because the Vikings and the Bears didn't play this week. But the NCAA, shame on you for not putting Florida State in there. I'm a Buckeye fan. I would have loved to see the Buckeyes go and be in there, but I knew, like, out of everything that was going on, Florida State deserved to be in there before the Buckeyes did. Florida State deserved to be in there before Texas or Alabama. Oh my gosh. If the NCAA had a face, I mean, you would want to punch it in the face.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if anybody saw when Michigan won the Big Ten against Iowa, the president of the Big Ten handed the trophy to the announcer to hand to Harbaugh. That was some bullshit. The president of the conference is supposed to hand the trophy to the winning coach. That was a bullshit move. So Batiti, that's his name, Tony Batiti or whatever his name. He's got the most punchable face this week.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
I say more dumb things before 9 a.m. than most people say all day.
Well, here's a good one from Adam. What if Florida State beats Georgia? That's such a great call out. If Florida State beats Georgia, I would go and print national champion shirts and hats if I were the Seminoles. Yeah. Look, Look,
Yeah.
there's a sportscaster here in Detroit named Mike Valeni, and I can't stand this guy, right? I think he's a good broadcaster, but his opinions infuriate me. Maybe that's the intention. Maybe he's doing his job. But he said yesterday the only reason Michigan fans are up in arms about FSU is because we wanted a free square. We just assumed we would beat them, and we want them in, so we would get them. And now we get Alabama, and now we're butthurt. That is a terrible take, Valeni. You suck. That's not true at all. I don't care if I was a Bama fan or like Russ, a Buckeye fan. If you win your conference undefeated, you should be in the college football playoff. If I have a five-star recruit son who's looking at college, and why would I even direct him near an ACC school after this? No matter what you do, son, you will not get to play in the college football playoff. And that's the reason FSU got screwed, and that's the reason everybody should be upset about it. Look, I think Alabama should be in it. They're a one-loss conference champion, but it's the SEC, the hardest conference in the country. Texas, they also a one-loss conference champion, but it's the Big 12. Well, Texas beat Alabama. Doesn't matter. They're a one-loss conference champion that's not in the SEC. Therefore, the 3 undefeated teams get the first 3 bids, and the rest of them will look at strength of schedule, head-to-head, all these other factors to see who gets that last one. Florida State got screwed, and there's no other way around it.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
And I love that. I love that take. And yeah, Shane Valeni's got a couple of bad takes, but I mean, I don't hate him because I love that he stands on his take. He goes and he puts it out there no matter what it is. And I don't agree with him on this one. I don't, because if you're undefeated and you win your conference, I'm sorry that it should have started right there. The undefeated teams got in no matter what, and then you flip a coin for the last one, and then explain to one of the one-loss teams why they're not in at that point. But you don't keep an undefeated team. That's just too much. But you know what? Here's the thing. This is the last time that you're ever going to see it like this. Next year they're going to start the 8-team tournament, and college football is going to turn into a racket that's just as big as the NFL. With a playoff set up like that, it's going to be just as big as the NFL, maybe even bigger, because you go see 100,000 people when you go to the big house. If you go to the Horseshoe, you're going to see 100,000 people right there. I don't know if the NFL's got that kind of juice like that.
Here's an interesting take from Fred. I seen a post that FSU should go through the process, then at game time, not take the field in protest. That's so interesting to me. And I think like half of me agrees with that. The other half of me, though, Fred, says if it wasn't the Georgia Bulldogs on the other sideline, I'd 100% agree. But because it's probably the best team in the country who just happened to lose a game to a tough Alabama team on a neutral field, everybody's going to say you were just scared of Georgia. I say you go out there and you try to win the game. But, Ben, I love that take, Fred. I never heard of that before.
Yeah, putting them both in there. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. But let's see what else we got in here.
Now you know why Sarah wants to punch Sean Payton. The Vikings fans hate Sean Payton. In the Minneapolis Miracle game, Payton was mocking us, doing the skull chant when the Saints took the lead. Then Diggs scored that TD, and that was all she wrote. That was a great God, what a great play that was. Thanks for reminding me of that place there. That's a football legend right there.
That is a great reason to want to punch a face, too.
It is.
That's right there.
And to what you said, Frozen Tundra says 8 teams next year. So, what I was saying, why would I send my kid to an ACC school? Well, because they could still make the playoff. But you know what? They're not going to get the first round bye. They aren't going to make the top 4. Even if you're undefeated and win your conference. And here's the funny thing. If there were 12 teams in the playoff this year, they'd probably give Florida State that bid in the top 4. Because why? Because they're an undefeated conference champion. Gosh, I'm getting excited. I don't even like Florida State. Why am I here on my...
Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules? Market 0.
Oh, calm down there, Day. It's okay. It's okay. I can't help it. I mean, Could you believe that somebody would want to fire him just because he can't beat Michigan? It's like that dude has like the most impeccable record outside of Michigan. and people down in Columbus want him out. Well, you got to go. Like,
Ken makes a good point. Even after the 12-team playoff, then we'll be arguing about who's number 13 and number 14. Right. I mean, what are we going to do? 64 teams like they do in basketball?
No. I think there comes a point, like when you're a 3-loss team, shut up. Like, I mean, at this point, really, this is going to curb all the arguments. Yeah, there'll be people that will argue the bottom part of it for sure, but it's not going to mean as much as like this. Like you kept an undefeated conference winning champion out of playing for the best football team, and you put 1-loss teams in. Shame on you. Like, that's not that hard. You get a committee together that likes another team better. What is that about? Wow, what kind of favoritism is that? Well, obviously Michigan versus Alabama is going to draw better. And that's obviously the reason that you made the play.
Frozen Tundra says in there that, Liberty went undefeated. They won Conference USA. Undefeated 13-0 season, the Liberty Flames. Should they be in the college football playoff since they won their conference and they're undefeated? I think that's a little different, though. That's not a Power 5 conference, right? It's not the FBS Power 5, right?
Well, they put 2 1-loss teams in. So I think that there's just something wrong with that. No, I don't think they should put Liberty in there. I don't even think that. Do they even play a power team?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I mean that's we don't want to put like different division champions that are in there. They wouldn't match up well.
All college football. It's Division 1 though. It's a division.
Is it all Division 1?
Division 1, but it's not Power 5, which is the top 5 conferences. Kind of like the SEC, Big 10, Pac-12, Big 12, and ACC. That's 5. I mean, look at who Florida State beat: Clemson, Miami, Florida. They beat a 14th ranked Louisville team to win the conference. They beat some real teams, and it's not their fault that these teams had down years. They scheduled a hard enough schedule to get them to the college football playoff if they run the table and win the conference, which they did. This is a pro football show, though, and right. I'm sorry we're distracted, but this is big news.
It is. And you know what? A lot of these guys that we're talking about right here, especially when you're talking about playoff football in college, is a lot of these guys are going to be playing on Sunday. I mean, which one of these guys do you want to see in a Lions uniform that's playing in those games, right? But yeah, we shouldn't talk about that either because we are in the middle of our own playoff push right here, and we're doing PFF Tuesday, and we went through the 2 games that we're on because 2 of our teams in the NFC North are on byes. But great game from the Green Bay Packers and playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, especially on the offensive side of the ball. That you got to like your depth because, no Jair Alexander, and you just got the next man up mentality. You get rid of Rasul Douglas, next man up mentality. You work on that run defense a little bit, and that's a dangerous team right there. As long as Jordan Love can keep up with his deal right there. Lions defense, according to PFF, was much improved over the last few weeks. In this game, according to the PFF scores, had 7 guys that were ranking in the 70s, which is very good games right there. And on the offensive side of the ball, Sam Laporta has arrived. Yeah. So we went through all of those different players right there. Mike, do you want to plug the show?
Every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, it's the NFC North Open Mic. We had a great show last night. I kind of had a hard stop, so I had to stop right at 1 hour. I had a conference call I had to be on, but we did have a great discussion. We had 3 out of the 4 fan bases actually in the room. We had some Green Bay Packer fans on there. They were great. Some great banter that we had. It's every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We had a big viewership. I think we had 350 people watching last night, which is awesome. Thank you to anybody that tuned in, and we invite you to tune in next week. All 4 teams are on the slate this weekend, so the Monday show next week's going to be full of good nuggets to talk about. NFC North Open Mic, 7 p.m. Eastern time every Monday night. Won't you join us?
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I got to do a hard stop today as well. And I have fun doing this. Don't you have fun doing this, Mike?
I do have fun doing this. It's a hobby, not a jobby.
Yeah. But it's nice to have it to be something that we can do.
Before we get out, I wanted to I starred a comment here on the right a long time ago, because it was a really good comment, and I want to try to find it and put it up here. It's from Bear Down Mike. And check out this scenario. Check out the scenario that he proposes, Russ. Week 18, Bears versus Packers. Packers lose and are eliminated from the playoffs, a repeat of last year when the Lions ruined their seasons. What do you think of that?
I think it's a possibility. I think division games are always underestimated when you're looking at records. Throw the records out the door, guys. And we're going to talk about this a little bit tomorrow. Our Wednesday broadcast in the morning is all Lions talk. So everybody's welcome. I mean, if you're one of the other fan base, you want to see us homer it up, we appreciate it. You can clown us in the comments. That's fine. But we dedicate Wednesdays, Lions talk. And I really want to hit that. Mike. That's something that we can hit tomorrow.
We got a lot of people in the comments talking about a Harbaugh going to Chicago. It's really a dicey situation. Harbaugh has said on a few different occasions that he's done with the NFL, and that's probably how you know he's probably not. Kevin Warren, the president of the Bears, Bear Down Mike, says he can do what he wants. He's not tied to Eberflus or Ryan Poles or Getsy. He was hired after them. So there's a lot of speculation that the only way Harbaugh would come back to the NFL is if he has GM powers as well, kind of like a Bill Belichick, a czar type of scenario. And Chicago could be a good fit there for him. He's a former Bear. So, they love him in Chicago. He was a great player for them before he went to, where the hell did he go? San Diego. So, but I just don't see that, Mike. I'm sorry. Ryan Poles hasn't done enough to lose his job. I realize that Kevin Warren and Harbaugh have a history, but still, they could fire Eberflus. They could even move on from Justin Fields, but I can't see Ryan Poles losing his job. He's already got more wins this year than he had last year. That's enough to give him another year, in my opinion.
And here's the other thing, too, is like it's rumored that Harbaugh wants all this control. What if he gets in a room with Ryan Poles and just kind of likes his philosophies, and then he just comes aboard and says, "Yeah, I like what this guy's doing."
I don't know. Have you ever seen an interview with Harbaugh? He seems like a narcissist. I don't know. That could be.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, like, I wouldn't leave anything off the table. I mean, Ben Johnson could go and be Chicago's coach.
No,
like, I'm just saying, like, this is a business. Like, I know people have their own opinions, and yeah, I think this would happen or not happen. And then the furthest thing from anybody's thoughts happens.
That's true.
I mean, everybody was talking about Aaron Rodgers going to San Francisco or Denver. Mm-hmm. That's all it was. It was the head of the headlines. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, left field, it's Russell Wilson. You're doing Russell. You gave up on Aaron Rodgers overnight, and all of a sudden Russell Wilson's going to Denver out of nowhere. They weren't talking about, oh yeah, this is going to be a great fit. Nothing like that. It was Aaron Rodgers to Denver. It was Aaron Rodgers to San Francisco. That was all it was.
Mm-hmm. And kudos to the Packers. They didn't give up the farm like the Broncos did. Ken Fisher says, my upset pick, New York Giants beat the Packers. Well, that would be great. Ken,
wow.
Hope you're right.
I'm glad that you said that, because I couldn't say that. I can't go there. I could take them on a spread, but you got to give me double
Green
digits.
Bay's on the road, and they are favored by 6.5 against the Giants.
I wouldn't take that.
You wouldn't take what? The Giants? You wouldn't take the Giants?
I'm not the Giants. I'm not going with you this week. I need more. I need more points than that.
Yeah, not the way Jordan Love is playing. Well, this is early. That line could go up.
If you give me 10 by Friday, I'll consider making.
What about 9? What about 9? Would you take 9?
No, you got to give me double. Actually, I'm hesitant at 10.
I'm thinking
that
Giants at home and 9.
Wow.
Here's one for you.
I would think you need to give me 13.5 for me to be comfortable.
The Raiders are at home against the Vikings, but the Vikings are favored by 3. Hard to figure that one out.
Going through.
I'm going to take the Raiders in 3 on that one, I believe, because that line could easily be the other way. It could be Raiders -3, and that would seem to make more sense to me, or even a pick 'em or a +1. But Raiders getting 3 points at home against the Vikings, that one's strange to me. This might be, you heard it here first, folks. That might be the one to jump on, because sometimes these odd makers make mistakes.
Yeah, I would not take the New York Giants unless you spot me 13.5.
I thought you said 10.
I'm feeling comfortable. I'm looking at the frozen tundras that I'll bet anybody money. We ain't saying there ain't no way. There's no way that I would think that the Giants could win that game the way that they were playing and watching Green Bay ascend. But whatever.
Where do you see frozen tundra betting people? Oh, I see it. It changed on me. Here we go. I'll bet you money Green Bay doesn't lose to the Giants.
Yeah, I don't think that's the bet. The bet is how many points are you going to give, right?
Better be careful there, Frozen Tundra Network. Gambling is an addiction. Gotta be careful.
It is. It is an addiction. And you know what? I heard a rumor that some people wanted to support this show, and I don't know why you would want to support this show. A couple knuckleheads with limited football knowledge, but if you do want to support the show, I just threw the Patreon in there. So if you want to support our show and our knuckleheadness, PFF Tuesdays.
And Sarah thinks it's shady. She thinks it's shady just to be talking to Harbaugh, regardless of how you feel about it. It's shady to be talking in the middle of a championship run. I don't know, though, Sarah. Are they actually talking to him? I think it's the media talking. I don't think
that's right.
I don't think those two sides are actually talking.
That's right.
Woody says Harbaugh was my favorite Bear quarterback. Well, you didn't have a lot to choose from, Woody. I'm going to pick Kyle Orton as my favorite Bear quarterback. Ooh. Or the author of the Book of Excuses.
Are you going Cutler on them? Look at that.
Jay Cutler.
Did you just go Jay Cutler? And why? Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta hop off here, man.
All right, man. Take care, Russ. Take care, everybody. God bless you all.
That's Main Event Mike, folks. He'll be with me tomorrow while we're talking this Lions stuff. Lions talk tomorrow morning. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube right now, can you please hit that like button? Hit that like button. Go up to the top rope Like the Macho Man Randy Savage, that's what he does, brother. Dig it. He climbs up to the top rope, and with the Macho Man elbow, he smashes down on the subscribe button. He smashes down on the like button. Dig it. Oh, yeah, that's the way the Macho Man Randy Savage does. Yeah, dig it. Thank you, Brad Holmes, for giving us hope. If you're a Lion fan, don't apologize for the hope. It's okay. We're 9-3. If I had a nickel for every time this team has been 9-3, I would have a nickel. One nickel, not two nickels, not two nickels to rub together. I have a nickel. Enjoy it. Breathe it in. Drink it in, man. Drink it in. Enjoy it. Enjoy it for 7 days. Because you could lose the next 5 games and finish 9-8 and miss the playoffs. Enjoy it. Do not treat it like a loss. Like so many people do. Don't treat it like a loss. Yeah, there's things they got to fix. For sure. Every team's got stuff that they got to fix. You have the most explosive offense in the NFL, and that's what you're betting on. Keep getting better. And I'll leave you with that. Thank you for watching. God bless you. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again tomorrow. Football Talk. Russell Wayne, Lions Talk.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
What's up, y'all? This is Ifeatu Melifonwu, safety for the Detroit Lions. And I just want to take some time out to give a big shout out to Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike from the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. It's a fan page and a podcast. And I just want to say I appreciate the support of me and my team. And I encourage everyone to go check out their podcast and check out their fan page. Go Lions.